I'm like, Candace, Candace. And I'm like yelling at this point. I hear her come out of her room. She turns on the light. She comes into
What
my
the
room.
fuck
She's
was
like,
that?
Yeah.
No, 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 no. I'm not even fucking.
oh man.
What was
All
it?
right.
Dude,
All right, bye guys. I gotta go.
what the fuck was that?
Hi guys, welcome back to the Bull Talk with BJ podcast.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Some of the information you are about to hear, some may find disturbing.
I don't know who gave them this or who gave them the clearance.
On the crotch.
Oh my
Right
lord.
there.
Can we Google that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I fucking stumbled down a dark hole and I love it.
Great cake parties. You know, if I'm going to believe anybody's bullshit, I'm going to believe mine.
It sounds not politically correct, but
You two motherfuckers need Jesus.
Welcome back to the podcast. We have a new face with us, Mr.
A prettier one than ours.
Yeah, a lot prettier, a lot thinner. I may also add. This
Yeah,
is
he has a neck and an Adam's apple. We're all shoulders.
this is Brandon Yamaguchi, aka what was it, Yamasaki DJ?
Yamakaze.
Yamakaze,
is my
I'm sorry.
DJ name. Yeah, I brought some friends with me, so I hope you guys.
That's all good.
That's all right.
Feel free to eat any of the food off this table.
Live
got
long and
Jesus
prosperous.
Jesus is DJing behind me, so
That's dope.
he'll be back there.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
But yeah, this is an honor to be on you guys' podcast finally with you interesting gentlemen.
Thank
I've
you.
heard a lot of your guys' podcasts, so this is definitely an honor to be a part of this.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for coming on. And this is something when you contacted me, I don't even know how long ago it was now, but it was probably about a month or two, maybe.
It was about a month when you
About a
told
month
me,
or
yeah.
two. And you were like, "Oh man, can I come on? I have a crazy ass story." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then you said ghosts, and I was like, "Yes, absolutely, you can come on."
They're like, for sure. Yeah, I remember we were discussing it before. I would say at the engagement, I think, or the engagement, or no, the rehearsal dinner for the wedding.
Yeah,
And you were telling me some of the stories that you guys talked about on this podcast. And
yeah.
one of them consisted of ghosts. And so later on, I, put two and two together, and I was like, I got this pretty creepy, crazy story.
Well, so just to kind of give a quick backstory, what we were just talking about before I hit record. You guys were talking about when we went down to my cousin's wedding. We all were there. You and I were actually groomsmen, and we were hanging out at the rehearsal dinner, and we were exchanging stories. So that kind of where that was brought about.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
so when you grew up, like, you just experienced ghosts constantly, or was this like something like with us, it's been passed down generation to generation kind of, or just been around?
This was specifically a house that me and my family lived in, and it was definitely haunted. And it wasn't just our family that experienced this. It was the previous renters who also experienced
No shit.
supernatural or these ghosts or entities in this house. So it wasn't anything that was, like we were cursed or something. It was definitely this house. And, after we moved out, these things didn't happen. But the stories that, we've kept and brought along with us, it stayed with us, And it wasn't just me, it was my sister, my brother, my parents, and it's pretty scary.
Okay, so when I met you, you were telling me you're half Japanese and half American. So is your mom or is it your dad that's Japanese?
My dad's Japanese, half
Okay.
white, and then my mother is half Mexican and half American.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So this
So
isn't
I'm a
this wasn't some sort of attachment like Japanese folklore have the seven wicked women. So it wasn't some sort of attachment that your dad may have told you about, was it?
No, and that'd be fine if it was women, because it's all right.
Nothing wrong with a succubus every now and then, huh?
There's 7 of them. Hey, sign me up.
No shit. So prior to this, you guys never experienced any ghosts, paranormal activity ever, or like that was your very first time?
That was, yeah, I would say so. That was the first time that I experienced it, like me personally. We lived in a house before that we didn't have any of these occurrences.
What about
my
your
mom?
Your mom and dad though?
No.
Nothing.
No, nothing. Yeah.
So it's definitely the property, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Whatever was going on in that house, or whatever is still there, it's affecting not only our family but the ones previous and new.
No
and
shit.
So
okay, so
yeah.
So before we get into your story,
yeah, I wanted the meat of the bone. I want to hear.
Yeah. Other than paranormal, but like, have you experienced anything like that? Whether it's paranormal, supernatural, extraterrestrial, anything like that, like anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah, I would say yeah, definitely. Anything after that, but it wasn't the same, right? I've had other situations where, like, it's like a sleep paralysis thing, or like I feel
Those
like
are terrifying.
something's there, or I have night terrors with some being that was like chasing me, but it wasn't anything where I was conscious, like, and awake, and I experienced this,
No shit.
where, yeah, with the things that happened in this house. And this house,
How young
by the
were
way,
you? How young were you?
Let's see. I'd say I was around like 10 years old.
Oh, geez. So you definitely
So
knew.
you were aware of something
Yeah.
that wasn't natural. It was definitely supernatural.
Definitely. Yeah. And this house was in Palmdale, by the way. I remember the street name. Can't remember the exact number, but the street name was on Norwich. And it's so clear in my mind, like I can picture this house, like how it looks. And every time I think about it, I just think like, this is like the creepiest house. I don't care what any other kinds of houses look like, but this one sticks in my mind, and it's like the creepiest house, because it may look nice, but on the inside, there's some shit going on in there.
Did you guys live anywhere prior to this, like out of the state or a different city or anything like that? And like, how did you, if you know, but like, how did your parents come to find this house?
We previously had another house in Palmdale that we lived in. It was a 2-story house. And then we eventually moved. We kind of like downsized. And this was the second house that we lived in. Before we lived in the big house, we lived in Northridge, and like a small apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like a baby. But I don't remember much about that. My sisters were older at the time. And so if there was anything that happened in that apartment or in that house that was ghost related, supernatural, anything, they would have told us. And nothing happened then until we moved in to that house on Norwich.
And about how long ago was it? Like, was this, oh, you said 10, so it was probably what, 10, 15 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, because, well, I'm 29 now. This was about 19, 20, 20 years ago.
Oh shit.
Just
Okay.
Jeez. You say that out loud and it's real. 20 years ago, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 20 years ago, we were in Arizona.
I
Almost.
know
Time,
where we
time
were.
flies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it sure the hell does. Now you know what your parents were talking about, right?
Hmm. Definitely. Did you want to
So
hear some of the
Oh
things
yeah,
that
I
yeah,
want to
happened
hear it all.
inside
I
this
want.
house?
So yeah, let's start.
The
Let's
mic is
start.
all yours, pal.
Okay.
I
Let's
got beer.
start.
He got beer. I don't know if you got beer, but
Well, I
I got
hope
some.
cheers.
you guys are ready, and I hope the viewers are ready because some of this stuff might give you the chills.
Bring it on,
I'm
man.
waiting for it, man.
Okay. Now, like I said, there was a previous family that lived in that house, and they experienced similar occurrences that happened to us. And when we moved into that house, right off the bat, I felt like something was off. It felt different. It felt weird, but I thought it was just because we moved from a different house before. I'll go ahead and tell the story that happened to me, which was the scary. Yeah, I would say the scariest ghost story that happened to me, and then I'll go ahead and share the story that happened with my sister and my mom.
Oh, so it definitely happened to everybody then.
Yeah, it happened to everybody.
Oh,
It happened to my brother. It happened to other family members that were there. So one night, it was just me and my sister in the house, and it was time to go to sleep. And I was trying to fall asleep, and all of a sudden, I heard like scratches, like on the wall, like coming down the hallway. And I'm thinking, like, could it be the animals that we have, or is it my sister? She's fucking with me or something. And it keeps happening. But it was like nothing that I've heard before. Like, we had cats, we had dogs, but they didn't make noises like this. They never have. And right now I'm in my bed and I'm kind of like terrified, right? My heart's beating fast, and I'm a kid. Things are gonna
Hey,
scare me easily.
you're 10 years old, man.
Yeah. So I hear it more and more, and then I'm starting to get curious, like, what the hell is this noise? So I get up from my bed and I go to look underneath the door, and underneath, like, outside my door, there's a hallway, and then to the left is the front door, right? But we have these next to the front door, there's these window openings where the porch light can shine through. And as I go and I look underneath, the noises stop, the scratching stops. I don't see anything. I'm like, okay. So I go back to bed, try to fall asleep. A few minutes later, happens again. I hear these scratches. And then it starts happening on my door. And now I'm really freaking out. Now I'm like panicked.
You're freaking me out. Like I'm picturing all of this right. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm kind of shaking. My heart's beating fast. It stops. I start to calm down. I get curious again. I think, what the hell was that? And I'm not about to open this door and find out, right?
I wouldn't want you to either. Shit.
So I get up and I go look underneath the door again. And I kid you not, this is what I saw. So the light barely shines through the front door. So there's some light there, but it's faint. I look underneath the door and I can see on the carpet and from the shine of the front, the windows from the front door. It's almost like it was like a greenish or like a bluish kind of like orb, like mist kind of, and it just like floats past. And then right after that happens, the scratching on the wall. I jump up, get into my bed, put the covers over my head, and I start screaming and I start yelling for my sister. I'm like, Candace, and I'm like yelling at this point. I hear her come out of her room. She turns on the light. She comes in.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
No. I'm not even fucking.
Oh man.
What was it?
Dude,
All right, bye guys. I gotta go.
what the fuck was that?
What are you jumping for? Pull your panties up.
Dude, something just hit the fucking green screen.
You did.
I did not hit this, dude.
Okay. Well,
Holy
stand
fuck,
up.
I got
Take a
chills
breath.
right now. Oh,
I had to
hold the
sip.
fuck on. No,
Look,
no.
you're chasing Brett. Dude, you're chasing Goose. He wants to get off the dude. We gotta keep telling the story. Calm down.
Okay.
All right, you gotta say
Hold
your
on.
Holy Marys.
Hold on.
You gotta
Hold on.
do
That
a
is
little
never
prayer.
Hold on. Wait, seriously. Hold on. Wait. Okay. I'm going to take it off of green screen right now just so people who are watching this can see.
You gotta
Okay.
go really quick and change your drawers
Listen to
and
me.
then come right back.
This is my green screen. I swear to you, when I turned around, I don't even think I can make the sound. I don't even if you can hear me. No, that wasn't even the sound.
Okay, well, pick up the screen. See what's behind it.
That's what I did. There's literally nothing.
Maybe it was the ladder.
Dude,
Was
there's
it the ladder?
This I swear to God, I almost pissed myself.
You look like you were peeing yourself. It looked like you had to pinch your taint.
I cannot wait to review this fucking video. Something hit this green screen, dude. Holy shit. I'm sorry. That just scared the fuck out of me.
For those of you who heard my son scream, he is a boy. He is not in transition. He is not going to be a woman. It just scared the shit out of him.
Dude, that's not even. Oh,
What'd you pee yourself?
no.
What are you smelling, dude?
Did it sound like something fell?
No, there was a dog that we were watching. This is all still being recorded, by the way. There was a dog that we were watching, and it ended up getting into the area over here, and it peed on my chair, and I thought I vacuumed it all up, and it's not gone.
Put a plastic bag down, dude.
Continue. I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, no excuses. If it's your urine, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right to pee in your pants as a grown man.
Yeah.
Apparently so, but that I swear to God that scared the shit out of me. Please continue. I'm sorry.
It's okay to shit your pants
Dude,
too.
I was all into Brett. I'm like, yeah, keep going, dude. I felt like I was in a climax, and then you just ruined it. I
My
got
bad.
blue balls for the next fucking 20 minutes of this episode.
My bad. I'm sorry for everybody listening or watching. That just scared the fuck out of me. I'm not kidding though. Something hit this fucking green screen behind me. Okay,
Oh,
Brandon,
that was
Say
go
a
ahead.
prayer.
That's
Prayer.
perfect.
Saint Michael.
Oh,
Save
I'm
that kid.
afraid. I'm afraid to even continue.
No,
Hey,
keep
man,
going.
As long as
Okay.
you don't let it in and let it disturb you, you can say a prayer. You can do
Okay.
whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit mute on my mic. You guys go ahead.
Jesus,
Sissy.
help me. Okay.
Hell yeah. Keep going, Brandon.
Wait,
It's
where'd he
scary. He
go?
hardly ever jumps
Dude.
like that. Have you ever
I think
talked to Josh about his
something
mom
fell.
stories?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his mom has an attachment. She's had an attachment our entire life since we were
He
kids.
told me the stories for the bachelor party, Bo, he told us some of the stories.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
his mom
it's real.
definitely has an attachment. But okay, back to your sister. You
Okay.
were calling out for Candace.
Yeah, I was calling out for her, terrified, frightened. Call out to her. She comes out of her bedroom. Now, mind you, before I thought it was my sister was fucking with me, right? But if she's coming out of her room, you know, and I can hear every door in the house, you know, if she's coming out, it definitely wasn't her. She comes into my room. She turns on the lights. She's like, what's going on? What's happening? She's like, I'm like, this is what happened. I told her everything, and she's like, oh my god. She's like, it's so weird because I was just having a dream, and in the dream she was trying to sleep in her room, and there was a dark figure standing in her closet.
Ooh.
Right. But she was trying to wake up. She knew that she was asleep. She was trying to wake up, so she almost had like a sleep paralysis. Right, until she heard me calling out her name, and then she came running out of her door, and then she saw me. She told me that, and then she said, okay, come sleep with me tonight. You know, we're gonna leave the lights on.
You two were the only ones home?
Yeah, we were the only ones home. Parents were out, you know, my other siblings, you know, they were out with friends. After that, it stopped. These types of occurrences would happen randomly, and not just at nighttime, right? This would happen in the middle of the day sometimes, right? Electricity, things would turn on. We have a stereo system, randomly it would just turn on. And it wasn't like a malfunction or anything. There was TVs, we had clocks that would like change time. The TV would just turn on randomly or it turns off. Just things like that. You know, we would always hear noises. We put two and two together. We knew what the hell was going on.
I have a quick question before you go on.
Okay.
So you said the people prior to you were experiencing stuff too?
Right. So the family that lived in that house, they moved out for a reason. I think they moved out to a house across the street. Now, why would you move into a house that was pretty much the same right across the street? You know, the family, they had daughters, and those daughters went to school with my sisters. And one night we went over to their house, and we were watching TV. And my sister said, you know, like, hey, some weird stuff's been happening in the house. You know, like we're hearing noises and things with the electricity, and just random, like, scary things have been happening. And then they said, yeah, the same things happened to us.
Oh shit.
Yep. They
So
said,
do you think, I mean, if it's land, I can see that, but do you think that family, the one that you're talking about now, or the people before them were involved in some kind of like, because I mean, you hear it on a lot of TV shows, the family was, or the people who moved in were involved in some kind of occult or some type of ritualistic thing. Like, do you think they were,
Summons.
yeah, summons.
Like they summons.
Yeah, do you think they
Right.
were ever involved in anything like that?
it's a strong possibility.
Oh,
The thing with Palmdale is, before houses were built out there, it was all just desert. Now, who's to say that someone, didn't commit a crime, killed someone or people, and went out there in the middle of nowhere, right? Because it was just all desert, and just, dug some holes and put the bodies in there, you never know. And then what they would do maybe was like build houses around that area.
To like cover
and
it
then
up.
somehow, they would build houses around there, or maybe even over those sites, and maybe they found the bones. I don't know, but maybe the spirit was still there around that area.
How far is Palmdale to Antelope? Antelope Valleys are pretty close.
Palmdale is part of the Antelope Valley.
Okay.
Yes.
Because, I mean, Jim and I are Ghost Adventure fans. We watch that shit all the time and on rerun. And they had an episode last year of a family in Palmdale. And this is what the lady described. I just call her Miss Lopez. Being held down at night by a dark four-legged creature that is scratching and bruising her. And as she walks, scared herself and her children. This is an Antelope, Palmdale, like you said.
Jeez. Do you know where that was?
I was actually looking. I'll keep looking as you guys go ahead and keep, because I know one of the daughters of this episode specifically, she was into, she wasn't conjuring, but she did believe in pagan or black magic, but she didn't practice it. She just entertained herself, but she doesn't know if it was something that she might have brought into her house. She says there was a mirror next to her bed and she would see black shadows, figures, and in the reflection can see crew members calling for help, meaning that the crew members that were filming calling for help and find peace.
What?
So when Zach when Zach was when Ghost Adventures were filming, this girl just call her M. I'll send you the link to Jim, and then I'll have Jim send it to you, Gucci, of the episode. And so, I mean, I remember it sounded familiar, this place, and I remember this is one of Zach and Aaron's, one of the episodes that really bothered the shit out of them was in Palmdale, and then obviously the Cecil, and then what was the other big one? The Demon House. The Demon House is something different, but this is one of the biggest one.
I'm still very skeptical about that Demon House movie.
Well, it's torn down now, so it's gone.
I know, but we can save that for the end of this conversation. So,
how ironic would it be if this story was in the house that I lived in?
That's why when you said you don't remember the address, and I'll see if I could pinpoint this address. All I know is as Mr. and Mrs. Lopez and the crew had a very intense investigation in their Antelope, California home.
No fucking
nightmares turn into reality. On the outside, like you said, Brandon, very nice looking neighborhood, not cookie cutter, Bavelle, kind of like Friday After Next when what's his cousin? Day moves out to the suburbs.
Yeah.
And his dad is into kink, that neighborhood. So it kind of looks like that.
It's a nasty time.
This looks like a typical California home, but inside the homeowners are experiencing violent attacks and terrifying sleep paralysis nightly. So I'll send Jim the link,
now
and then I will.
Now I'm not the only one who's freaked out on this conversation.
I don't know.
Look at Gucci. Gucci's fucking like, I don't even know if I should continue.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll see you later.
Dinner bell just rang. All right, I sent Jim the link for the story, and read it after this episode.
Yeah.
So, okay, back to you and your sister.
Yeah. So your sister got she was calling you, or you were calling your sister, and she was having a dream of something.
Well, yeah. So that that happened. Multiple occurrences. That's when we talked to the family that used to live there that moved
That's
across
right.
the street.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. They explained similar situations, just weird things or like seeing things.
So they had occurrences. I mean, did you
yeah,
guys communicate with each other? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we communicated. We told each other like, hey, this has been happening to us. They're like, hey, this has been happening to us. Yeah, or it happened to us as well. I'm like, is it happening in the house that you live in now? And they're like, no, we haven't experienced that. And I was like, well, great. You should have freaking told us before we moved in. Now we're
Right.
haunted. And so I guess, that's when we found out it wasn't just us. We weren't crazy.
That's some good beer, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, back to Gucci. I want to hear the story,
know,
dude. I'm
sorry.
not done drinking.
We'll
Wait,
give the.
what kind of beer is that? What kind?
It's a homebrew, actually.
Yeah. So hold
I
on
don't
before.
know.
Yeah. Sorry. Before we go any further, big shout out, Juan. Not Juan. I mean, his name is Juan, but Tito. Thank you very much. He homebrewed this.
Tito?
Tito.
Oh, Tito. Okay. Tito. Very good so far.
It's a blonde ale. It's very good. It's very, very good.
Well,
Actually, it is.
Oh,
This
wait,
is
there
really
What
we
you
go.
got? Some Jim Beans at the honey?
I
That's a
got,
Jack.
Just the Jack Honey.
Oh, yeah. Jack
Yep.
honey. I had Jack last week. Can never
Little-
go wrong
little
with
sip.
Tennessee
A
Smooth.
little sip every now and then.
Keeps the
To,
ghost away.
I'll take these spirits instead of the spirits that we're talking about.
No shit.
I hear you on that one.
So they moved out. They were telling you, we experienced the same thing, but now that they're moved out, they don't experience it anymore. So my question with that is, did you guys ever look around the house, or I don't know if you guys had a basement or an attic, but did you ever go looking into the attic or looking into the basement or the crawl spaces of the house to see maybe you could find a remnants of whatever was there, or markings or anything like that?
You were afraid that if we did go find something, that we would disturb whatever was living there. But unfortunately, we didn't find anything. We did have an attic, but nothing out of the ordinary. We didn't find anything like a remnant or an artifact. Nothing of that sort. And it sucks because maybe if we did, we would have maybe researched it and found out the background of it. But yeah, we didn't find anything.
Okay, so you're definitely in the Mojave Desert Plateau.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
right here, history of Antelope Valley, the largest Indian campsite that archaeologists have found are concentrated around in Mojave Desert Plateau until they found their way through the pass near Palmdale. So I'm assuming you have a passage, probably of some sort of migration of Indians.
Oh, what? No. What do they call it?
Possible.
Ley lines.
Or ley line.
Ley lines.
Or ley. I actually didn't know Palmdale was in the Mojave Desert.
The funny thing about this is that down the street, make a left, around the corner, make a right. There's a whole lot, and it's a cemetery.
Really?
Yes, that's
Yep.
what I'm talking. That's what I'm reading
it's
right now.
There's a
Palmdale
cemetery.
Cemetery, historical site, not in use, which means it's decrepit and old.
But
Correct.
I think it was a pet cemetery.
That's not any better. You've seen the damn movie, right?
Hey, that's still they still scratching on the wall and the door also.
Maybe.
But Palmdale has a decrepit, famous
No shit.
history of Old Palmdale Cemetery. Old Palmdale Cemetery in 1886, a group of German Lutherans came through Antelope Valley, lured by the prospect of fertile fields and lush landscapes, as well as 20. I'm going to keep reading. So I'm trying to get down to the middle of your haunting here, Mr. Brandon. It says here. Go ahead.
That was going to be another question was, other than your experience, what were some of the experiences that your family had? Because you also said that your mom and dad experienced something, your brother
Right.
or sister, excuse me.
So the one that did, another one that happened to my sister was like in the middle of the day, broad daylight.
Hey, that don't make it any less scary though.
Yeah, I know. But it's a worse story if it's at night, that's for sure. But this was in the middle of the day, and she was doing dishes. My brother was playing video games in the living room, and she goes to ask him a question. If I'm not mistaken, this story, she tells it so much better than me. And she's washing the dishes. She goes to ask him a question, and she turns around and she asks him a question, and all of a sudden, well, because he couldn't hear, I guess he was like too focused on playing, and above the sink there's like a ledge,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like a window, but on top of it we had a little basket of like these coupons, like for stores, like for groceries and stuff. We had the coupons in there, and when she goes to ask him again, the basket flew right behind her, and the coupons went everywhere. Now, explain that to me.
You can't if you ain't got no wind. You're in the desert, homeboy. There's no sea breeze.
No, the
At
windows,
all.
that window wasn't open. There was no.
That's what I'm
one
saying.
through. Nope.
Your sister pissed somebody off.
No shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the same concept. Like when we were living in that house over in San Lorenzo, Dad. I mean, we experienced stuff prior to that. I experienced little stuff here and there. Even in Arizona, I always felt in the townhouse that we first lived in, I always felt that somebody was always watching me while I slept. It was weird.
How's your ex-girlfriend trying to kill you?
No, in the townhouse, I was probably his age, 10, before we moved over to the farm.
Townhouse.
Yeah.
In Arizona?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, see, I was reading about Palmdale. I'm really interested because this whole gravesite thing, yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Where is that gravesite located?
It is, you want to know the street? It says Historic Palmdale Cemetery. Palmdale's original name, by the way, is called Palm Lutheran.
Never knew that.
And
I didn't know that.
Palmenthal. Let's see. The city of Palmdale decided to protect the old Palmdale Cemetery, once known the Palmenthal Friedhof, because there was a bunch of German and Eastern European who migrated from that. They basically named Palmdale.
So where's it at? Where's it located?
Yeah.
You want the actual address? It's I'm getting to that right now. They actually have a website called findagrave.com for the Palmdale Cemetery, 20th Street East, north of Avenue S, Palmdale, Los Angeles County, California, USA.
Yeah.
Sound familiar?
Yep, we lived on 20th Street.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. We lived on 20th Street. The main, can't remember what the main street was that connected from 20th Street, but it went like, like 20th, 25th, or whatever. But there was like the main street. I can't remember.
So wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay. I'm going to show the map.
No,
and
no,
the
I'll
map.
I'll pull it up. You guys keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, there was a
So there's E Avenue R8, a Firethorn, 25th Street East, Avenue E, 30th, 27th, 26th, 25th, 20th, Avenue E. These are cross streets to 20th. Sweetbriar, East Palmdale Boulevard.
Did you say Avenue S?
Yes,
That's the street. There was
that's
20th
where you
and
live.
Avenue S.
Yeah, that's where this cemetery is. It's literally 20th and east of 20th Street, Avenue S. North. I'm sorry. Let
Palmdale
me repeat that.
Cemetery Historical Site.
That's it. You're on it. 20th Street East, north of Avenue S.
It was not a pet cemetery.
No, that's an adult cemetery. That's a dead people
Yep.
cemetery.
Yep.
No fucking way.
So my friend, you
If
probably
you-
have a bunch of old German and European ghosts in your settlement there, pal.
So if you look at Avenue S and then 20th, that cemetery is like right on the corner. And then if you look above it, that's where Norwich Drive is.
Yeah, let me get the right now. I'm in the GPS coordinates. So
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Well, I feel bad for the other houses that live closer to that site.
yeah, East Avenue P, East Avenue Q, and then it just
Wow.
continues with the
That's
letters.
fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
You're literally a
So
block away, or you were a block away from there.
Norwich Drive.
No shit. So okay, so
did you play around that place when you were a kid?
that's exactly what I was gonna ask. Did you ever like go there just to fuck around and go hey, let's
Disturb
go,
any of the
let's go
grave
find some-
sites
let's
or
go find some
anything?
ghosts or something?
Oh,
We
hey, he's
had
gonna tell
dirt
the truth
bikes.
now.
We did have dirt bikes. And there's right near the cemetery, there was another lot. I don't think they filled it up.
No,
but there
it's
was
actually still in. Did you say Norwich? That's where you live, Norwich?
Yeah, Norwich Drive.
Yeah, so there's Norwich, 20th East, and you're literally a cul-de-sac away from the cemetery off of Yorkshire and and E Avenue.
Yep. So there's
That's it.
I guess it says Desert Lawn Memorial Park. There was no fucking park there. There was just like desert, and there was just like, little hills. But it was right next to that cemetery. Yeah, we would play around there, but I mean,
Okay, Brandon, here's for you to tell the
until
truth. Did you
later.
kick over any headstones?
Any at all?
I did
you
get
pee on
invited
any?
to a couple of those rituals.
Whoa, what?
I didn't
Ooh.
know they were rituals at the time.
Explain that.
So I lost my virginity. No, I'm just kidding. This is
Oh,
all. I'm
oh,
just joking.
That's a great story. I want to hear that one.
Yeah.
Kids, go
No,
to
I'm just
bed.
kidding. No, I didn't do anything around that area. We were like a little bit away from it, but no, we didn't. Hell no, I would stay away from there. We didn't go anywhere near that cemetery.
Well, you're definitely in a very haunted facility for Ghost Adventures to film an episode there.
Was this a single story or a 2-story home?
No, this is a cul-de-sac environment. Yeah, this is a very in and out.
Hold on, Dad. What was that?
This was a single-story house.
Single-story house.
Yeah. And
I see right
I
now.
want to get the address actually.
I'm on Google Maps.
Okay.
And I'm currently going through the street view, and I see 2 single-story homes so far, and one of which looks a little not creepy, but it definitely looks ominous.
I want to see if I can get a street view, and then I can actually tell the exact address.
So this is going to be great. This is a great listen for everybody who's listening to the podcast. So right now I'm sharing the screen. So tell me if any of these houses look.
Oh, perfect. Okay. You're
This is on
Birch.
Street. Where did
Okay.
I just go?
You got to go to Norwich.
I thought that's where I just was. God damn it.
Don't you passed 5th grade English, fucker. Come
Oh
on,
yeah,
spell it right.
you're like you're right over.
Here we go. Moon. There it is.
Go down.
Norwich. So Norwich is here.
Yep.
This is
Okay.
making great content.
Okay, so turn it around.
So
Yep, go down that street.
all right, so everyone who's just listening, I'm currently on Google Street Maps trying to find the old crazy house that Brandon lived in. So do any of these houses look familiar?
Good.
Did you just change your background?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
I had to make it a little bit more spooky.
All right. I thought I
Love
just
that.
changed.
Okay, so that house right in front,
Yep.
that gray one,
This
that's
one here
the one that the neighbors
lived in.
I'm sorry, not I mean, they were our neighbors, but that's the one that the previous renters moved to. Now, if you look at that house, right, you see that house and how it's structured.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now turn around on the other side of the street. Okay, now that corner house
Yeah.
with not the 2-story one, but the one to your left.
This one here.
Now you see that house? You
Yeah.
see how it looks? It's the exact same looking house.
Yeah, it's a single
Same
story.
structure as well. So why would they move across the street, right? Into the same, pretty much the same house.
So
They knew something was up.
the one that we're currently looking at, right? This one right here, this gray looking house.
37118. That's the house.
This is the house that you lived in.
Oh man, I'm just like getting chills right now.
Well, I tell you what, if your
Yep.
sister ever wants to vent on the show too, bring her on. We can hold up to 15 people, man.
Oh, she would
Yeah.
love to. She would love to, but she's
So what else did
terrified.
you guys ever did you guys ever experience in this house?
So the story that I can remember from my mom. My parents divorced. We had visitations with my dad, so the three of us, we went for one weekend to go for a visitation. My mom stayed in the house. She was by herself.
Mm-mm.
One night, as she's trying to go to sleep, the doorbell rings.
Oh, fuck that.
She's like, what the hell? She's like, who could be here like at this time of night? Walks down the hall, goes to the front door to see nobody. All right. Like, what the hell? She go back to her room, tries to go to sleep. Doorbell rings again. She's like, okay, now someone's like trying to mess with us, or trying to mess with me. Somebody must be ding dong ditching. Who knows?
Right.
She goes and checks again. Nobody's there. She goes back to bed. It happens again, and now she's just pissed.
So it happened 3 times?
Yeah. So she gets up. She goes, checks again. Nobody's there. She goes and she stands in the hallway. And she's like kind of creeping, like, because remember I told you that those windows,
Right.
there's those like side windows, you can kind of see, right? Even though we had like the little curtains, it was still able to like see through.
Oh, on the side of the door?
Yeah. So the front door,
okay.
we had these two two long columns of like windows.
Yeah. Side panels is what they're called.
Yeah.
I love how you're just catching
And
up to that.
They were.
You see
they
that,
were.
Jim? I got 2 of them for you, pal.
He said, "Read between the lines."
Yeah.
So she's creeping around, right? She's like, "I'm gonna catch these little fuckers." You know, they're over here ding dong ditching. She's waiting. All of a sudden, gets this weird sense like something is like around her and like behind her. And as she turns around, boom, the doorbell rings. And she freaks out. She looks, there's nothing. She goes back to him. She's like, fuck that. I'm not.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I'm not dealing with this.
What you're saying too is the whole 3 times thing. Again, this is going back to Ghost Adventures that I was able to learn that
The Trinity.
it's a mocking of a Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Right.
No shit.
They
Yeah,
mock
whenever
it.
you hear anything in increments of 3, it's a mocking of, regular Christianity, right? Something like that.
Holy.
Yeah.
We
So
were
they mock.
Christian.
Yeah,
We were
I mean,
Christian. Yeah.
according to what we're reading, you're definitely in some sort of a hot spot of, you're in the desert. Desert is always some sort of a hot spot because of what the desert is built of.
Right.
And then all the migration that's happened from the early 1800s to now and all the other shit. So, yeah, Palmdale's scary. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. So
I heard you guys talking, so I was saying
Yeah,
Palmdale definitely has some sort of, it's just like Superstitious Mountain, but out in Arizona. Everything under there has, the entire desert has some sort of attachment or some sort of what do you call that, draw of energy of some sort. Obviously, we're not ghost hunters or anything like that, but we live in a family that has some sort of supernatural interference. A couple of your aunts growing up, Gucci's friend, your cousin Josh, your grandmother's definitely interacted with a doppelganger in Josh's home. So
you interacted with a doppelganger.
Yeah, well, I got used to it growing up. I'm still kind of used to it. It
with
doesn't.
me. Well, this is from
Yeah.
what you told me. I don't know if you remember this story or not.
No, I remember you telling me we were living at the other house.
Right. So
let's not get off track. I want to keep hearing Brandon's story. Okay. He's got too much to talk about. Keep going.
Well, the things that you guys have experienced and the stuff that I went through and my family went through in that house, it's like, how do you explain these things, right?
Exactly.
And how can you say that it's not real? Because it definitely is, right? It's real. And for you and for us to for us to like have kept ignoring it and it just kept happening, it just got worse.
Well, sometimes it's best just to ignore and don't let it affect you. Once it knows that it affects you, like I said, my sisters live with it. 2 of my sisters actually have lived with some sort of an attachment or some sort of being to the point now it might as well just be a growth on their back because they're so used to it. They know how to interact and how to just deflect certain things. They don't get emotional. They don't cry. Sometimes they don't even bring it up because it's so ongoing that it's just another story.
Yeah. Yep. It's unfortunate to say, but it's normal. That is normal.
And then you got the other people who think, okay, then we live in a parallel universe. We live in a matrix. We live in some sort of dimensional where now they're thinking, Bigfoot goes in and out of our dimension. I
have a hard time with that one.
I don't know what it is. I've seen uglier women than that dude, but they're still on land. But my point is, somebody has to explain that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there is no explanation. You got Skinwalker Ranch. You have the ranch that's out in Arizona, out in Rainbow Valley. All that paranormal and extraterrestrial stuff, that is real. It's fact.
It's hard. It's hard. It's genuinely hard for me to believe in people who are like, I don't believe in that shit. With the shit that I alone have experienced without you being there, Dad, without Mom, without anybody being there, I can't explain it. I really can't, because like when we were like I was saying, in the house previous to me moving out, I was sleeping in a loft area. Now you would literally have to take a ladder up to this attic loft thing. It was cool. It was really cool. And I would vacuum because there was a carpet. I would vacuum. Well, this particular time, he wasn't home. My mother wasn't home. Nobody was home. It was just me. And I'm vacuuming, and I swear to you, someone should have just, or at least that's what it felt like. Right where I was standing, which would be the floor of the loft, it felt like somebody fucking put a sledgehammer through the floor. And it wasn't an earthquake. It was that one particular spot that, I mean, it hit like a, you know, oh, it's probably not going to be good for audio, but
Thanks, Dick.
yeah, sorry. But I mean, it literally, yeah, sorry.
No, you
But
good.
it fucking felt like somebody was in the house, like telling, and I was also playing music. Like somebody would, like if you were living in an apartment and your neighbor below you used a fucking broomstick to like, hey, shut the fuck up. Like that kind of thing, like that kind of feel. And I ran. I don't even think I touched one of those fucking steps on that ladder. I didn't touch a step going into the kitchen, into the house. And I ran out the fucking door expecting you or mom to be out there, especially mom, laughing her ass off, always trying to fucking scare people. I almost punched her in the face one time with a set of keys. I had keys.
Well, you got to explain to Brandon your mom's sick sense of
Yeah.
humor.
She
So
is sick.
she is the type of person. You remember that? What was that prank show with Tracy Morgan?
Oh, Scare Tactics.
Scare
Yeah.
Tactics. Okay, when she saw that, she thought it would be hilarious for me to take off the chain off a chainsaw and scare every one of her little cousins or nephews, or including Jim, start the fucking thing.
Thanks,
and
Mom.
run in the room and scare every single one of her nephews and cousins just to be a prank. And she can't even finish telling me the story. She's
were
laughing
at
so
work.
fucking hard.
You were
No,
at
when
work.
I got home, she told me. We were standing at the farmhouse and she was telling me, and she's holding herself up at the sink trying with her legs crossed because she's peeing on the floor, trying to tell me the whole story. I'm gonna get these little motherfuckers. So it was Tracy Morgan's story. She's like, you gotta take that chain off that chain. It was our old landlord's chainsaw. He's like, take that chainsaw. I'm gonna scare thee. Because remember the little room that was in
I
the
remember.
back where
I
you
remember.
served, and then I turned it into a game room. Yeah. She couldn't wait to bust through that door on you, Maurice, and Sergio to scare the shit out of you.
That's
But
terrible.
that's the kind of humor his mom has, my wife.
So yeah, so I thought
Sounds
it
like
was
a great mom.
Oh yeah,
She's a barrel of laughs.
so I thought it was her, you know, trying to play a fucking prank, and I ran outside and her car isn't there, his car isn't there, there's nobody fucking there. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. And I looked around expecting someone to come out of the house and be like, hey, did you feel that earthquake? No one.
Mhm.
And I went back upstairs or back in my room, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna not vacuum right now, and I'm just gonna chill.
Vacuum pondering the ghost.
But our house in particular, very much like yours, we experienced a lot of shit, dude. Like a lot of shit.
You guys still live in that house?
At least I did. No.
We
Okay.
moved. Jim bought a house out in Lodi. He's out in the Central Valley over toward Josh's mom. Oh, where Josh used to live in Modesto.
Oh, you just got a house too, right?
Yeah.
Congrats. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, he lives out in Lodi, and I still live in the Bay. Where do you go? You still on, Jim?
Yeah. Where you at?
Okay. I can hear you. I just don't see you moving.
Oh, I'm listening.
I gotta ask you, before you moved into that house, did you research it just in case any abnormal supernatural things occurred?
No, we were poor. We were just happy we got accepted to rent.
You're just like, hell yeah, sign me up.
So
we'll deal with that shit later.
Have you ever heard of the mirror theory or seen the movie Mirrors?
No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
that's a
I know
parallel
what you have,
universe.
dude. I'm talking to Goop.
No, I
Again,
haven't
here,
actually.
pick one.
So
I stay away from scary movies just
For
because
real?
of what happened in that house. I don't care for scary movies. Anything that has to do with like it's demonic or
oh man, there's a
supernatural,
lot of good
anything
movies
like
out there
that.
though.
Oh,
So
Give me
so
the-
this one in particular, mirrors or the mirror theory is that yes, it's a parallel dimension but some people also speculate that when a person dies or a soul gets released uh from the body, that if you have so many mirrors in your home that the mirror will actually capture it almost like a photo, and you will then in that soul or that spirit will then be entrapped
yeah.
in that dimension or something like that.
I feel like I've seen this in Constantine. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Where he
exactly,
traps them in the mirror, and then
exactly,
he pushes it out, and it breaks.
exactly. Same
Yeah.
concept. So but the reason why I bring this up is because when I was living with them in that home that I just talked about, there were mirrors that filled that house prior to us getting there. There was a mirror on their bedroom door, on the bathroom door, on my bedroom door, on my brother's bedroom door. There was a big ass fucking, I mean, huge, probably 40-inch mirror in the living room. I think there was two of them. Was there one or two?
Every door in the room except for your door to the garage and the kitchen.
Ooh.
Yeah. So every place, so it was creepy. And I mean, this is also explained.
It's called mirror gazing is what he's talking about.
Mirror
But I'll
gazing.
let
Thank
you
you.
keep
Mirror
going.
gazing.
But and I explained this on our Halloween episode that I mean it wasn't just me. Very same thing with you. Like my dad saw a doppelganger of me. My mom saw a baby run from at the time my actual room when I was living downstairs, a baby in diapers run from my room to their bedroom, and my younger brother at the time was not in diapers.
It was so apparent to the point where Josh's mom came over one weekend and was like, "Who's that baby over there?" So she saw the baby standing in the corner of our house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What
but here's the
the
definition.
hell?
In normal observers, gazing at one's own face in the mirror for a few minutes at a low illumination level produces the apparition of strange faces. Observations see distortions of their own face, but they often see hallucinations like monsters, archetypical faces, faces of relatives and deceased and animals. That's
Okay.
called mirror gazing.
I see
Yes.
you. I see you signaling over there. Go ahead.
Yes.
Brandon's got a lot to say. We just got
I
to pull it out of him.
recently heard about this too. You stare at yourself long enough in the mirror, it can be some type of, or whatever, of witchcraft, right? It's possible that you could summon something that shouldn't be summoned.
True.
Another one is the superstition of having. You said you guys had a bunch of mirrors around. What was this? A bedroom?
Everywhere, all doors except for the kitchen and the garage.
Right. So there's a superstition saying that you shouldn't have a mirror facing your
Each
bed,
other.
like while you're asleep. Yeah, or each other, but you shouldn't have the mirror facing your bed. And I did. I would say a couple
You
years
making
ago.
porn in your room, Gucci?
You caught me.
That's good. Just put it on OnlyFans.
Dang! If I had an OnlyFans at the time, I had a mirror facing my bed, and I noticed, like weird dreams every night, or almost every night, while I was sleeping, and then my sister told me about that superstition, about the mirror, and she's like, you should move it and then see if it changes anything, and it did. It changed. I moved it.
It's actually a game. It's called and I can't think of it offhand, but it has something to do when a box of mirrors, basically all 6 sides, top, bottom, and all 4 sides. It's supposed to trap an energy. And once I think of the name, I'll probably text it to Jim, or by the end of this podcast, I'll think of it. And that is supposed to, like I said, trap an energy and basically put you in another dimension, bring in that other dimension. That's what one of my sisters used to do too. She used to think about, see, mirrors are often employed in this ritual in games we really shouldn't be playing.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
I'll be exploring why this is in an upcoming edition of Scare Yourself Silly. So this is just a page that I found. 6 square metal sheets. The sheets should be slightly taller than the other witness. 6 mirrors. One should be slightly larger than the other, all 5. Let's see. So what it does, construction of a box. What is the name of that box? It's not a Dybbuk box. It's called a... Mirrors have some sort of a portal effect, and I'm rambling because I'm reading and I'm trying to keep your attention. You guys keep talking. Go ahead.
Well, this mirror that I had that was facing my bed, it's like it's a long mirror, right? It's almost like body size. It was almost like as tall as me, like thin too. I guess it's like it could be certain mirrors too.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then I'm pretty fucking screwed because I got a mirror on my dresser. And then I have my bed, and then I got 2 fucking closet mirrors.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of that. You gotta move them. That's why you're hearing shit behind you.
Dude, seriously, that never happened before. That never happened before. That scared me so bad. Like, you have no idea. That scared the shit out of me. But
or maybe it's your girl just fucking with you.
I wish it was, but she's not. She's in the house. But yeah, no, that's and so kind of going back to the whole story that you had before. Since moving out, you haven't experienced anything, nothing, not a lick of anything.
Like here and there, but it wasn't anything like that crazy. It wasn't anything that, that happened like that, or happened like those things that happened inside that house. Nothing like that.
Well, it left an impression for sure. I mean, hell, you're almost 30 and you still think about it. You told the story like it happened yesterday.
Yeah, it's something that
you didn't even have to think about it. You just wanted to word it perfectly. So like it was like almost, I don't want to get in trouble. So
yeah, that's actually what it seemed like. I'm not even gonna like, you're very hesitant.
Yeah, don't come after me.
Yeah, that too. It's just things that you can't forget.
No, you don't forget. I mean, even when
it sticks with you.
Pull the mic closer.
It does.
Yeah,
it does stick with you. You'll never forget it. I mean, I tell stories about my sister all the time. I have a quick story. We still have time, right, Bo?
Can you hear me?
But
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling Big Jim to pull the mic closer to his mouth.
Okay.
He's talking like this.
Yeah,
lick my balls. I'm gonna get Bret Hart after your ass. Whoop on you, boy. So anyway, I did that on purpose. When we were kids, we lived above what's called a department store. Basically, all it is a standalone one owner type store that sold everything from apparel to shoelaces to shoe shine kits to suits, fully tailored suits. Well, when we were younger, we used to live above it. And when basically, the way to explain this place is you walk up this long flight of stairs, you go in and you go into the apartment, and the apartment basically had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms, a kitchen, a dining room, and a bathroom. So it kind of looked like an old reform house for the only way I can explain it is like if you look at an old story, it's like an old halfway house. That's what it looked like.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm like picturing in my head.
Yeah. So we were there. Her and I shared this real big room. She had her day bed. I had my bed. It was lifted with drawers on the bottom. I forgot what they were called. But anyway, I slept by the windows. Well, we had big windows on next to me, and there was a little old lady and her husband who lived in the attached roof. We lived on the same roof, but where she lived was above a Chinese restaurant, just her and her husband. So one summer, everybody looked for this guy's husband. He was a chronic alcoholic. He was homeless. They weren't homeless. They had a home. It was just him and her. So they found him dead. She ended up living by herself. And long story short, one summer, the owner of the restaurant said, "Hey, have you guys seen Miss So and So?" Nobody had seen her. So we all looked at the place. We all went in. We all went into the above the restaurant, and there was probably about 30 of us looking in this house, which was kind of like I said, the above the. It's like an apartment or a dormitory. So we finally got to a room that was locked on the outside. My uncle and this
I remember
little
you
kid,
telling me the story.
they broke in the door and they ended up finding the lady's body. She was already decayed. The rats ate through her legs. She was dead. She had probably died months prior. So my sister, Joanne, Josh's mom, I was probably 12, 13. She's 3 years younger than me, so she's 10 or 9. And just recently, probably about, I don't know, before COVID. So this past 2020, when I went and saw her last, she's like, "Jim, you remember the old lady who lived in the apartment next to us?" And the only person I think of, I said, the old lady above the Chinese restaurant. And the store that we lived above was called Gabardines. And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "You remember when they found her dead?" I said, "Of course I remember. Hell, Uncle Gus kicked the door in and all the roaches fell. And that's what happened. He kicked the door in and the door was lined full of cockroaches and it just fell on him.
Ugh.
Him and the owner, this Chinese guy. So I said, "Of course I remember. We all seen this lady. She was basically, her legs were eaten away from the rats that got her." She's like, "Well, I remember seeing her that when she was lost, we thought she was lost. She looked at me through the window and I was scared. I didn't know if that was real or not, but she was waving at me." And I was like, "What do you mean waving at me?" She's like, "I don't know. I just, like I said, Jim, I didn't know if she was waving at us to say hello or if she was waving at us. Obviously, she probably wanted my help." So I said, "Well, do you think she was actually reaching out or you think it was her ghost?" She's like, "I don't know, but I think about it all the time." So, but she doesn't know if it was the apparition of the old lady or if she saw the lady looking at her like, "Come and help me, please. I'm stuck." And basically what happened was she got robbed. Somebody chased her into the kitchen. She locked herself in the kitchen, and the people who robbed her locked the outside with a padlock. So basically she starved to death.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah, she starved to death. And the only reason they found her was because of the decaying smell. So my sister, who I went and saw today, literally thinks or doesn't know if the lady was waving at her to help her when she was still alive or waving at her to tell her, "Look, this is where I'm at." She had already passed. So, and that was just last year. And this happened to us 40 years ago.
Jesus Christ. Well, I think that's a good story to end on.
True story, man. The house is still there. Actually, it's a check cashing place and a Western boot store that's below it now. It's still on East 14th. It's right in front of La Clinica, right on East 14th.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's
Yep.
insane. My headphones died, so I don't know if you can still hear me.
I can
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
Holy
I think
crap,
that was
that's a crazy story.
Oh yeah, Joanne, that's Josh's mom. I call her Joe, but we lived through this attachment to where it's now affecting her Josh's younger sister.
Oh, I'll send you the picture.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Unless have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen the picture, but I remember you telling me what was going on with her when we were at the bachelor party. You were telling me some of the stories that was going on.
Yeah.
That's frightening. And
yeah.
Terrifying.
I mean, it's to the point now where she's just like my sister was younger. It's happened so much. It might as well just be another person.
Yeah. kind of like a
You know.
pass down from,
Yeah, it's an attachment for sure. But anyway, yeah. Well, I tell you what.
That, like, these occurrences happen when we're by ourselves. You know.
Well, I mean,
like they know that we're alone, and they're like,
they know our weaknesses.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, earlier we were talking, and you started telling me about you being a DJ. So before we end, is there anything you want to shout out about yourself?
Yeah.
Anything you want to bring? Any shows you might be putting on or getting back into the mix? What's going on with Mr. Yamaguchi?
Yeah. So I did a couple live streams. I did my first official one. I think Bo tuned in to that
Absolutely.
One. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone, whoever's watching this, that has tuned into my live streams. I will be doing another one fairly soon. My roommate just finished the flyer, so this will be a different style of electronic music. I'm gonna have some new visuals. I finally got a microphone again, so I'm able to interact with the viewers, and I think it's gonna be pretty fun. So
bring it on. I mean,
that, I would say in a couple weeks. Yeah. So
no, bring it on. I mean, that's like you were saying. The one thing about this whole lock-in and especially in LA, you guys are tortured by this whole COVID shit.
Yeah.
You have to reinvent yourself or rediscover what you had a passion for. And it looks like your whole DJing career might be back. So I'm going to listen. You send me the link, have Bo send me the link. Trust me, I do nothing but this podcast and lay around on my big ass on my bed watching TV. So I will definitely be in one of your shows, checking them out.
Yes, thank you guys. I'm definitely grateful for everybody who's always tuned in, and I've got some more plans after this one, so it's fun. It's been a lot of fun, and again, it's great to have this time to share some music and have people get in and enjoy it in these like crazy times, and hopefully by me playing for you guys, this is like an escape, from all.
No, it is escape. I mean earlier today I actually went to Modesto today to pick up my kid from Josh's mom's, Joanne, and I bought this beer. It's called Therapist, and it's an IPA. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this and put it on the show. It is therapy, dude. I mean, you're rediscovering. You're actually, like I said, you're redoing what you liked prior to the rush of life. COVID stopped everything, and either you're gonna sink or swim.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
and you're doing all right. You're still around, man. Especially from the wedding.
It's like a dog eat dog world, and you better eat or you're gonna get eaten.
And where can people find you at, man?
I have multiple platforms. So one, you can find me on Instagram at yamakazi.dj, and then I also have a Twitch. It's DJ Yamakazi. You can find me on there. That's where I'll also update some of the future DJ live streams.
All right. Well, I will.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm gonna link everything down below in the YouTube description and as well as the podcast description as well. Every link that you have, I'm putting in here, man.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'll be posting a Mixcloud account too, because I have all these sets that I've done that I've been wanting to post. So I'm definitely gonna post those too, so people have a chance to not only like look at the videos on Twitch, but they can listen to different mixes of mine.
It's all about reestablishing yourself, man. You've already got the passion, just bring it back out. But hey, don't go away. We're gonna end this, but we're gonna go offline, and then I want to talk to you about something else before we go.
Okay.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for listening. This is episode 40. This is kind of like another little landmark.
The big 4-0.
Big 4-0. So thank you, Brandon, for coming on, man. Greatly appreciate it. And we can't wait to have you back on, and hopefully in a face-to-face conversation one of these days.
Yeah, talk to your sister and your brother if they want to come on. Like I said, we can hold up to 15 people.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of blanks in between your stories, so we're more than willing. And we got people to listen, man.
And my sister. She's so descriptive sometimes, so she can tell you the stories way better than I do, and it'll give you more chills.
That's all right, man. Doesn't matter. More definition is better.
Yeah. Well, thank you, buddy. Thank you for coming on. Stay safe. Do your Hail Marys and your Our Fathers,
Yeah.
and drink
Saint Michael's prayer.
drink a little more spirit.
Yeah, be serious.
Yeah, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels cures everything.
Yeah, it does. All right, buddy. Have a good night.
All right, guys. Thank you.
No problem.
Yep.
Peace. What is up, boners? We are back. This is episode number 40, and we got a very special guest with us today. We got Mr. Brandon Yamaguchi, aka I'm gonna fuck it up again. What is it again?
Yamakaze
DJ on Instagram. There he is right there. Very cool episode. Very interesting story that you told us. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything like that. But it's very cool.
Felt good to put facts into his story. I mean, where he lived, where roundabouts, and what actually he might live on a land. What is it called? Landline?
Leyline.
Yeah. So
with the
got to tune in. This is a very interesting young man, and he's got plenty of stories.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting story. But what I was laughing about earlier, and I tried to show you, but 1 second. Now I'm just filling in space myself. I can't laugh at people not getting hurt. Or I'm sorry, I cannot laugh at people getting hurt. And I get that twistedness from my mother, the woman that we explained earlier. And I say that because every time like a good example, I'm sure you've seen the video of the guy that gets his legs crushed by the car.
The Asian guy. You still play that video, dude?
I cannot watch that video, dude.
Dude lost his legs.
They're probably gone. And then I was on, of course, TikTok. I mean, there's no getting around it. I cannot not watch TikTok. And I saw this video, and this guy, he's a little heavier set. So everybody just listening, he has a dash cam. He technically has two, one facing the street and one facing the inside.
He hit that truck. Don't tell me he hit that truck, dude.
I get this humor from my parent, from my dad.
This guy, if you can't see the text right here, it says from front and back. He just got rear-ended, okay? And that's his face here. That's his face here. And
I play
it. His reaction afterwards.
Oh man.
Hey, he walked out. That car and that rig would have killed his ass.
So I can't not laugh at stuff like that. But it's a little lighter note to the creepy story that we have coming up. But that
was a good way
to lighten the mood. Lighten the mood. And also, just so everybody knows, I may or may not scream in this episode. So I do apologize for that. I get scared at one point in time because I was deep into this fucking story.
Yeah.
I think he
was
beat
good.
his pants.
I'm sure he did.
So
He definitely left for a little bit of time to go change something.
Yeah.
I did. All you boners, all you viewers, just be prepared.
Be prepared. This is not a lighthearted story. So
It's actually real. That's the whole thing. I mean, reading it and having him talk firsthand about what he experienced, and then, basically going through facts on Palmdale's history. I mean, a lot of the stuff makes sense. I mean, the dude is definitely
we did some research.
spooked.
There's definitely historical
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
we even did
And
a little fact checking in this episode as well.
and it actually clarified more to what happened to me. And
Yeah, I mean, every time I read something, you're like, it almost like triggers something. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that, and like, yeah, that's it.
yeah, everything just clicked. The street
Yeah,
names,
exactly.
yeah.
the historical site of the cemetery, just everything. It's
Yeah,
So,
well, let your followers for your DJ channel, let them know what's happening. Definitely let your sister and your brother know.
oh
yeah,
yeah,
definitely let
Maybe
them
it'll
know.
spark up some memories for them. So, again, Brandon, thanks for coming on. We've been
Thank
waiting
you.
for a while, and I'm glad we were able to do this together. And hopefully, we'll
Absolutely.
have many more.
yeah.
So everybody,
Again,
please,
it's an honor to be on this with you guys.
please go
It's
follow
fun.
Brandon. I will link everything in the description below, both on YouTube and on the podcast itself. Also, before we go any further, please be sure to go to our flow page. That's flow.page/BTWBJ. We have all of our links there from Twitter to Instagram to
Did anybody buy us a beer this week?
no one this week.
Okay,
But
good.
that you can also buy us a, beer this week. There's a, link there. We have a little supporter page. It's about $4 that we have on there, or you can pick a different dollar amount. Doesn't have to be a specific amount. Buy us a beer, we'll shout you out, and we'll go from there. And yeah,
Here's the thing. It could be anything. Jim has been introduced to a lot of people who have t-shirt designs, hat designs. I mean, Eric. I cannot talk about Eric and Dave.
Dave
I
semi
just look
stupid.
suspicious. Dave Brubaker, Leno 714, semi stupid. I mean, if you want us to shout you out, we have a small following, but we have a large community, and we definitely will plug you.
100%.
Thanks for following us, and we're gonna follow you back, just like Mr. Yamaguchi.
Yes,
So
Amen.
follow his pages. He's definitely a DJ. He's discovered his passion, so I'm sure he's gonna go 100% balls out. So good luck to you.
Always keep them out.
Yep.
Keep that boner nice and stiff.
rock hard.
Rock hard.
Yeah.
So everybody enjoy episode 40 with our very special guest, Brandon Yamaguchi. Thank you.